The year was 2012. People were fearing that the end of the world was near. But amongst all the chaos, 3 songs from a so-called lost album were uploaded onto YouTube. And these 3 songs have something in common. They're all songs from the David Bowie album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust. No one had ever heard of this band before this moment, and at first, no one really cared. Not until late 2013, when they all of a sudden became incredibly popular and everyone wanted to know whether it was fake or genuine. Unfortunately, I only discovered them just over a year ago, as you can see from my comment here. But I was still incredibly interested in the story behind this. Was it fake? Was it genuine? Could I buy this record? After doing a bit of research online at the time, the general consensus seemed to be that the album was indeed a hoax. It was fake. And to be honest, I was heartbroken. I couldn't have this wonderful album in my record collection. One of the biggest points people brought up to argue that this album was fake was that this font used here is a font you can actually download online and it looks incredibly modern. And that is the Mojo font, which can be found on the MyFonts website. Another argument people used was that the style used for the art of the album cover is almost exactly the same as that used for the Diana Ross album, Reflections. One thing though that kept me believing that the album was genuine was that this orange bit here that says "and the Chamberlings" does not use the same font that the Milky Edwards and the Starman bit does. And no one else seemed to be pointing this out. You can notice some subtle differences between some of the characters. For example, if you look at this D here, it has this little curve to the inner bit here, whereas the D here has this little smiley face. And if you look at this N, it curves to the right, whereas in this N, it curves more downwards. At the time, this was enough to convince me that there could be a chance that this could actually be genuine. And then I pretty much forgot about it. Up until now. Just over 5 years since they were first uploaded to YouTube, I decided to come check them out again and give them a listen. And they sounded as amazing as I remembered. They're absolutely incredible. And it got me thinking again. Could I find out whether this was actually fake or genuine? The only thing I had to go on was this font here. What was this font? Could I find it online? Or was it actually drawn up by an artist in the 70s? So after some research, I actually think I found this font that's used here that no one else seems to have picked up on yet. And that is the Jonah font. And as you can see here, we got the little smiley face D and we have the N that curves downwards. Upon finding that font, I decided to create my own version of the Milky Edwards album using Photoshop. Now just a warning, this isn't going to look as lovely and polished as the actual album cover does. Here's the Milky Edwards part. For the most part, looks pretty spot on. And we also have the Starman part, which uses the same font as the Milky Edwards part. Now here's the bit I was talking about, the bit that uses the Jonah font. When you compare it to the actual album art, you can see it's pretty much spot on. It definitely looks like the font that was used on the album cover. To also make my little mock-up seem a bit more authentic, I got an image of the Beatles' White Album and edited it a bit to lend it that old faded record cover look. So does this confirm to me that this album is a fake? Unfortunately, yes. There's no question in my mind that this album is a hoax, but it's an amazing hoax. I definitely recommend you go listen to it. The 3 songs we have from it are incredible. And if you're a fan of David Bowie or soul funky songs, you'd definitely love it, regardless. So that's it for the first episode of Musical Mysteries. If you liked it and you want to see more, be sure to let me know by commenting below and hitting that subscribe button. And stay tuned for more videos coming soon. I'll see you guys later.